Hello there, everybody. My name is Michael Gray.
I'm Paul Franzen.
And I am Nikola Suprak.
And today we are playing Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward for the Nintendo 3DS. We actually figured out how to record it.
The long-awaited walkthrough. That's right, everyone. The Pony Pros ride again.
No.
So
told you I was
that's
gonna use that
23
line.
seconds before we mention ponies.
And probably the only time we will mention ponies throughout the duration of this video.
I would hope so.
Although, have we checked to see if Cherubi has
Ugh.
done pony characters of this game? Oh.
Okay, so the game starts off with our character Sigma being kidnapped on Christmas, which is the worst Christmas present ever.
I don't know, I got a Snuggie one year.
You'd rather be kidnapped than have a Snuggie.
It was a Harry Potter themed Snuggie.
I wouldn't mind a Snuggie. Those are just like a blanket sweatshirt thing?
Yeah, pretty much it's a blanket with sleeves. But it's not really as comfortable as a blanket.
Yeah, see, I have to pay for heat in this house, so it's like, you know what, I will just leave the heater off completely and just wear a blanket all day long. As long as I'm not going outside or inviting somebody over.
That's pretty much our strategy too. We're big sweatshirt fans here. All right, so we're on an elevator somewhere.
We're in an elevator.
Yes, we are.
With an unnamed girl.
Okay.
There already is a pretty big change this time around. There's actual voice acting.
Mm-hmm. But not for Sigma.
No.
And speaking of voices, if anyone is listening to this right now and going, "Oh my God, will those people just stop talking?" If you go to our channel, we actually have a version of this video without our commentary, so you can hear the people talking and not have to be annoyed at us the whole time.
That's good for European people because they got rid of the English voices in the European version.
Really?
Yeah, they only have Japanese voices in the European version.
Oh. I will say that having actually played some of the game now, the voices are not nearly as bad as I thought they were going to be.
No, I like the voice acting. I mean, I just sort of wish that Sigma had a part, because now it's kind of weird where you've just got one guy who's silent.
0-2 is pretty annoying, but it's clearly intentionally so that's fine. I mean, that was the one I was the most concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we'll hear more about that later.
I like that line of dialogue there. The first time I played the game, he says, "Who are you?" By which I mean, "What's your name?" It's like he's explaining what "who are you" means. So it's like, yes, this game is in line with the previous game and maybe over-explaining everything.
No, you haven't.
And here's something they won't explain yet, and it's that the girl already knows your name.
I think they'll explain that.
He just looks like a Sigma, apparently.
They'll explain it 18 hours in.
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys that I read an interview with the writer who talks about part of his writing strategy is not to go overboard with explanations, not to give up too much information, which I thought was a pretty hilarious thing for him to say, considering how the 999 was nothing but repetitive exposition for hours on end. But I guess the point is he doesn't give away like a lot of secrets. Like there are a lot of things that they kind of keep you guessing about throughout both games.
Yeah.
But the things they do tell you, they tell you very frequently.
Like, I looked at you, and some part of my brain just said, "That's Sigma." What do you think?
That's a random name to pick. It's not like, oh, that's Mark.
This bracelet?
That's Sigma.
See, you've got one
Well,
too.
she has a similar name, as we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
And by Sigma, I just mean it's a letter of the Greek alphabet. How did they come up with these names? We'll talk about that later, I guess, when we meet the other characters.
Does everyone get cool code names like they did in 999?
No, use their own names.
Oh.
Except for Clover, who uses the code name Clover, because I'm guessing Clover's not her real name.
She forgot her actual name.
That's probably for the best, wasn't it? Didn't they each character have like 3 different names? There was the name that J-Dog gave them, and then their code name, and then their actual name on top of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, with Clover, it was pink hair, so I mean, not the world's most creative name.
Did anyone get the cool pre-order watch with this game?
I did, and you might actually see that in this video.
Awesome.
Hey, look.
Were you watching this video before and you saw that, or you're just...
No, I was just wondering. I think someone's audio is a little too loud. I'm hearing some echo from the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's me because I'm wearing headphones.
I'm wearing headphones as well, so I am blaming, Nikola Sparkle, who is using the iPad, right?
Maybe. I did just mute it, though, so...
Thank you very much.
I do what I can.
But now he can't hear all the beautiful voices.
You turned it down just in time.
I muted it at the perfect part.
Yeah, I did. For those listening, Michael and Nikola have both played through this game multiple times and gotten all the good endings. I played through it once and got the stupidest ending.
It's not an ending, Paul.
It was the worst, but we'll get to that. I don't know, like 20 hours from now, probably. But I do kind of I think that the Zero voice actor is much better than I thought. It's very entertainingly bad, entertainingly annoying.
I think it'll be more like 4 hours from now.
Oh yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or in real time, probably a few months.
In real time, yeah.
For anyone who watched our 999 playthrough, we took our time getting these videos out. We wanted to make sure we made them of the highest quality we could.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got to make sure that these last until the third game comes out to keep up with tradition.
Which they have not announced yet.
I thought they announced it concurrently with this one.
Did they? Oh. I don't remember hearing that.
There's clearly a huge amount of build-up for the third game.
Yeah.
Especially with the hidden secret ending, which I think Nikola got, which is like an hour long preview.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe they did announce it then. I don't remember hearing anything about it, but maybe I wasn't paying enough attention.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can make the argument that this entire game is just a preview for the third game.
I'm gonna argue it's a sequel to the first game, although that's a really bad argument.
Yeah, there's what, at least in the main cast, there's one crossover character, right? Clover?
Yes, and Alex...
That we're aware of. Like I said, I don't know. I haven't played enough to see if there's any more than that. But, so I'll play the role of the viewer here. Don't spoil it for us.
Okay.
Hopefully saying Clover in it wasn't much of a spoiler, considering she's in like the cover art and stuff.
Well, it doesn't look anything like Clover from the previous game.
Oh, then I ruined it. I'm sorry. Oh, hey!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in case anyone's wondering, Michael did this by recording the 3DS itself. I don't know if you could tell that or not.
Yeah, that was my iPad recording the 3DS. Yeah. And we can actually read the top screen, kind of. Fantastic.
Yeah, not bad.
That's good. I was worried that wouldn't be possible. So do I have to explain the puzzles, or I can explain them, because I recorded it so I know how to solve them?
Oh, you're probably not playing on baby mode either, are you?
No. I'm playing on hard mode, but it's the first room, so it's pretty basic.
I think I used baby mode. If there is one, I probably used it.
There is. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing in the corner said, hey, there's a fancy pin on the fire extinguisher, so you go to the fire extinguisher and use the pin. Or get the pin. And then
I guess that one's not too tricky.
You're going to use the pin as a key to open the fire extinguisher box. Seriously, this girl has not introduced herself yet. Tutorials. Well, at least it's not as long of a tutorial as the previous game.
Yeah, the tutorial in the first game was not fun, the third and fourth time you're playing it.
Yeah.
And this is the one where you can kind of skip through stuff after you've seen it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can skip to specific parts in the game, I should say.
You can do both things.
Cool.
we'll see that eventually. We haven't been playing long enough to, like, get some material that we've seen before.
Right.
They're so slow about opening this thing. My goodness. I know it's the tutorial, but...
Well, that's okay. At least there's no, at least that we know of yet, ticking time bomb that we're waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
They can take as long as they want.
Yeah, the room's not filling with water.
Yes.
Yes.
Although they did say that the elevator will drop.
In a couple of minutes.
Yeah, so maybe they should hurry.
Perhaps they should hurry up, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea, yes.
Yeah. So if you check in the bottom right part of the screen, you can tell that he doesn't have on Paul Franzen baby mode. His heart is highlighted.
Isn't there a part where they, we might have already seen this, they explain that it's easy mode and they actually show like a picture of a baby?
We will see it. Either
it's right there, isn't it? That little blue thing.
There,
yeah.
or if you select the old person. I think I went with old person. Yeah. Touch screen control failure. You might see that a little bit in this video. Yeah, I'm not using the touchscreen, I guess, as well as I could because the iPad is sort of in the way because I'm using it.
Right.
So.
You're doing fine.
So you're just kind of running around dismantling everything in this room right now.
Yeah, no, I have 4 handles for the 4 tips, and the 4 tips are right here. Or they're for use right there.
Mm-hmm.
This was kind of tough having to memorize which one went with which. I know it's just 4 things, but still, it's tough.
Were you following a walkthrough on Game FAQs while playing it this time?
I wrote the walkthrough on Game FAQs.
Thought so. Yeah, I gotta say too, like how I was apprehensive about the voice acting, I was also very apprehensive about the fancy new 3D graphics for this game, but they also looked quite nice. So.
So that's the one thing I didn't like as much in comparison to the first. They're fine. I just liked the animation better in the first one.
I think they look better in the game than the screenshots made them look, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think the screenshots picked like the worst ones.
Yeah.
So I'll mention this later on in this video. We'll have a shot of the girl, reaching down from the top of the elevator, which is animated differently than how she normally is, and I just think it looks ugly.
Mm-hmm.
So the standard animations look good. The cutscene animations, maybe not so much. That's what I'm saying. And this is a running joke, because Sigma keeps asking her permission to do stuff. Are you ready? I'm gonna open it.
Oh no, what is this? I didn't do this, did I?
You were probably playing baby mode then.
I don't remember this part.
This was a good start for me because it was already a better puzzle than like 95% of the stuff in the first game.
Yeah. Yeah, I recall your...
Which is why Paul skipped it.
Yeah, your complaints about the original game, so many of the puzzles were too easy, so I can see that this game's puzzles being a little on the harder side would have been a benefit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought the puzzles as a whole in this game were a lot more clever.
Mm-hmm.
So, the controls are basically up, down, left, right, and you can't see my fingers, but you're just gonna have to guess which direction based off on the blocks.
Based on which, where the blocks are moving, yeah.
I think I did do this one.
And now my 3DS, it was off kilter for a second there.
Mm-hmm.
I am pretty good, yeah.
That's the worst poster ever. A baby and old person.
count.
I know Paul had that hung up in his college dorm.
Yeah, I was pretty good at that puzzle where you just have to count the babies and old people. That was pretty good.
I actually had to look up the answer in my walkthrough because I was lazy to like count again. I think also they've got a couple of like people who aren't old or young, so I mean that throws you off.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're talking about hard mode. Easy mode and hard mode.
Again, that is not how you spell Dano.
I mean, ugh.
Yeah, that's awful.
I
Dano.
mentioned that the first time we saw that, but we're gonna see it again.
Mm-hmm.
And again.
How do you forget the babies already? He picked up like 3 things in this room.
Okay, so
Mouse.
She failed first grade animals.
Actually, neither of my rabbits really look like that.
yeah. That was a clue that you have to do 0 and 3 because he's 0 the third, but that's kind of a hard clue to pick up on. Gotta be honest. So you have to do, you know, the elevator things, otherwise you won't get the memory card. Does that make sense? You have to do the babies and old people. Otherwise, if you try to solve this 0 the third puzzle, you won't get memory cards, and you'll just be lonely. Okay, so stick in the 3 memory cards, and then you get the password to escape.
2 suns and a star thing.
They are randomly generated, so, yeah, so you can't use that to cheat, everyone. And all the other passwords in the game are, not randomly generated, so...
Really? Just this one is?
No, just all the room passwords.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But, like, the bomb passwords, those stay the same every single time.
That's where I keep my crackers.
I'm sorry, what? What is she talking about?
I think she's just screwing with us at this point.
You're going to feel stupid when there's a cracker and a tie deposit box inside, Paul.
Actually, at the convention, we set up a table for Game Collat a few weeks ago. We did give away crackers.
We'll see.
Multiple of our bags of mystery just had crackers in them. So.
And by this point, I've completely forgotten the passwords, so...
Yeah.
Fortunately, you can look them up at any time.
Yeah, so the green password's all you need to get out of the room. That'll give you the key. But if there's like secret files in each room, and you need the blue passcode for that.
Yeah,
and if you're playing on easy mode, you can't get that password, correct?
That is true.
Yeah.
That was the tutorial that I just zoomed right through.
Yes.
And here it is again.
Well, we're assuming that the people watching this are paying as much attention to the actual text as we are.
Checking out the poster again.
Accidentally.
Do you look at the secret files in your walkthrough?
I do. We are going to read all the secret files, although I'm not sure it's going to come out now. We'll see if the text is good enough for you guys to actually read it. The secret files are not that interesting for this playthrough.
No, sometimes there'll be something funny in there. One of them talks about how ugly Gilbert Gottfried is.
That's completely uncalled for.
Uh-huh. I really like to imagine like he's playing the game. He's just like, oh, come on.
What are you doing? Come on, I should sew. Yeah, but this one is basically just, the funniest one is AI. Which we'll see in a moment. Yeah, you can kind of read the stuff at the top screen, right?
No, it comes through. I mean, some of these you're going through a little fast, but if you want to read, you can just pause the screen and see what it says.
Yeah. So, I mean, later on we'll talk about Zero the Third being an AI, and he just made a joke about AI being artificial insemination. As opposed to artificial intelligence. Well, that's a question I meant to ask before recording this video. We have a disclaimer on this video saying that, you know, the game comes with gross images, graphic depictions of gore, and strong language. Can we include sexual innuendo on that list?
Oh, sure. Or are you asking me to do it, or are you just asking if we should?
I'm just asking if we should, because, you know,
Yeah.
the first game did not have that much sexual innuendo, but...
Except for the wonderful elevator scene.
The best part.
Yes.
But this game is like nothing but innuendo, because Sigma's a pervert, so...
Wait, when do we go down the dirty grandpa path?
That's every path.
Oh, yes! Awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna have like a full-on voice dirty joke pretty soon.
I guess that's not every path. But you'll be able to find the dirty old grandpa right away. I guess Paul already knows who he is.
I think that path is going to be our second playthrough. Does he really need a countdown for pushing a button?
That's not how elevators work.
I told you guys when we went to the convention, literally, like, the first person who stopped at our table was like, wait, are you the guys who did the 999 videos? That was pretty awesome.
I mean, immediately after they told you how much you sucked, but...
No, well, they didn't actually say it was they really
were
enjoyed
terrible.
the
You should have shut
999
up.
videos. They just said, did you do them?
And then they walked away.
And they were dressed as the guy from Time Spiral, not Time Spiral, Time Hollow. Time Spiral is a Magic the Gathering set. Close. But...
I would not mind doing a walkthrough for Time Hollow.
It was another fun game.
Yeah, and the alternate ending's a lot easier to get in that one.
Wait,
It had...
the hatch is only 6 feet off the ground? Did I read that right?
Yeah.
How short are these people? There's like a lot of space.
Okay, so here's where Sigma goes dirty.
Okay.
I knew it, you sick bastard.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
I just don't understand why both their minds go in that direction. Is that the reason she's just sitting there and staring at him? She's just waiting for him to say something dirty? Or maybe she just spaced out there for a second. I don't know.
You're a little tall for me to just jump up on your shoulders. I'm certainly not going to give you the satisfaction.
That strategy definitely would work though in this game. It's like just sit and stare at Sigma long enough and he's gonna say something dirty.
It's like how he says hello. It's just a dirty joke.
Thanks. A little step up is just
I can't wait till we
what
get to the
I
cat puns.
Not in this
That is-
video.
Oh, that is the best part of the game.
Here
You've got to be kidding me, Paul.
It happens multiple times too, actually, depending on which playthrough. So
You know I don't enjoy good things.
I think everyone knows
All
that.
right, give me your hand.
We did just sort of browse over the fact that Fi kind of just flew out of the
Well,
hatch.
I'm not
Yeah.
Superman, that's for sure. And I'm not
And this is the
Batman
image I was
or
talking about
Spider-Man
earlier,
or
where it's like, well,
Aquaman
this
or
looks
Merman
too
or
different
Wolf
from
Man.
her normally,
I'm not a
and
Brahmin
it doesn't
or
look as
Conan
good.
or Ramen.
Yeah, I feel like this was the obligatory 3D, like,
I was
whoa,
just
coming
going
at
to say
ya.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Her hand
Fine.
reaching out
I
of the
guess you
screen.
could say, I am no man. Just
And what she
keep
said
on
there is apparently a
today's
hilarious joke in Japanese.
Yeah.
That
I think
entire
there's a
sentence-
I think there's a reprise to that joke later on in one of the paths.
There
And
it
both
is,
times I
at
was
the
like,
end
what
of the zero
is she doing?
path and at the end of the real ending.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to the website for this game, I think they actually mentioned that as one of the jokes, which was like
Sure
sort of
doesn't look
impossible
like an
to
elevator
translate.
shaft. Some kind of warehouse, maybe.
Yeah, I can imagine the amount of work that must go into a game like this to get it to make sense to an American or English audience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It wasn't going to go anywhere.
I mean, this game is a huge amount of text.
Yeah, I mean it's a very impressive translation too. Same thing with 999. Like by reading it, you wouldn't be able to tell right off the bat that it was translated.
It's
Mhm.
Like it reads like it was originally written in this language, which is not always the case with translated video games.
Mhm. Yeah, usually not. You can tell right away.
To put it mildly.
I think it helped that this game was written in English at the same time as it was being written in Japanese.
Really.
So, I mean, they were just on the line with the guy who was writing the original Japanese version, and they got to ask him questions about all sorts of things which didn't make it in the game.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, I feel like in most localization processes, like they kind of bring the translators in like last. That's like the last thing they do. So it's kind of helpful if they're there. From
And
the
sometimes they don't even bother doing
Yeah.
that. They're like, hey, we got Google Translate. Why do we need translators for?
beginning. Also, that girl didn't have a shirt on. I'm just gonna point that
No,
out.
that's just like a necklace
Yeah.
or something.
I guess every Zero Escape game has to have that character.
Yeah, she's
Well-
actually related to,
Really?
what was it, Lotus?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That doesn't surprise me.
They work together at the same strip bar.
Oh, that jerk! I hate that kid.
You hate
He's the worst.
pork?
And I hate his hat. Look at his awful hat. What is that supposed to be?
Completely ruined the ending for me. It's his darn fault.
That would be me.
Ugh.
This little guy needs work.
What about Dio's hat? Do you guys stand up for that hat?
That's an awesome hat. It's a top hat.
Yeah, but I mean, what's...
He's a fancy guy.
I seem to
Yeah,
remember your...
He is totally working that hat.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Now,
He's got to be hiding something underneath that hat. I'm just saying.
It's a smaller hat, like Russian nesting dolls.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely just a necklace.
Hello. It's very nice to meet you.
I like how all the characters are totally cool with that and don't think that's strange at all. Then again, I guess we were just talking to like a ringleader at a circus, so
Yeah, she's normal.
yeah.
Well, maybe we came out after all these other guys, so they just had their long conversation where they reprimand Alice for not wearing any clothing. You know,
Aren't
Dio
you
offered,
cold?
hey, you could have my vest if you want, but she
Also, I assume at some point we're going to deal with the fact that her name is Alice.
yeah, yeah.
In relation to 999. Yeah,
There's going to be a large
Yes, we
callback
do.
to 999.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
And I think that was my favorite part of the game because they actually mentioned what's his face, Seven.
Oh, I missed 7 already.
Yeah, no one's trying to open doors that are actually locked or walls.
I'm really refraining myself to see if anyone's drawn these guys as ponies yet.
Paul,
Alright.
I know you already looked. You don't have to lie to us.
I haven't.
I know that's the first thing you did when we said we were doing these videos.
I'm a little disappointed. I don't think Cherubi's on top of this one.
you and Dio show them your bracelets.
Cherubi, for anyone who didn't watch our 999 videos, is a deviant art. Is that what the website's called?
Mm-hmm.
A deviant art artist who drew all the 999 characters as ponies. Very, very well. Very admirably. So everyone has a funky watch with a number and a color.
Yeah, including me.
Show him yours too, ladies.
They all appear to have the same number, though.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
different about this game.
Yeah, Zero made a mistake is what actually happened.
Isn't this going to cause some problems later? Well, we have a door 5. Crap.
Oh, we die.
Sigma and I are the red pair. Dio and Quark are the blue pair. Each pair got put in the same elevator. But Tenmyoji, Alice, and Luna were all solos. So...
Can't he button his shirt or something?
No, man, he's a...
Is he distracting you, Paul?
A little bit. I'm just glad there aren't like little chest hairs poking out.
I think Paul just doesn't like bare skin. It doesn't matter whose it's on.
No. I'm a bit of a prude, I guess.
Well, I mean, what do you call that random thing he's wearing around his neck? I know there's a name.
I think that's a bolo tie.
Yeah.
He's rocking a bolo tie. So he must be a rancher or something? I don't know.
I think we find out what his game is. I mean, what his job is. He's more like a hobo, isn't he?
Wait, he's not like a cop?
He's more like the guy who digs through trash cans.
Just calls himself a detective. Yes, that's what I'm doing.
Looking for clues.
Nom 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 nom.
Get out of our garbage.
I laugh, but actually I'm doing that myself, to be honest.
I'm sorry?
Wait, what?
No, I mean, I moved recently, and the new house I moved to, it doesn't have a trash can. Or
So you're eating out of other people's instead of your own?
No, so every Thursday night, because I pick up the garbage on Friday, I sneak outside with my garbage and I dump it in the neighbor's garbage can.
Oh, well, no, that's nothing like what we were describing. I was afraid we were going to have to send you money or something.
Yes, we're starting a new Kickstarter. We're just announcing it today. I'm Michael a Sandwich. We only need $5.
Here's
Donate.
Dono again. Yeah.
Give it a shot, why don't you?
I was wondering about that. Do you think there's a minimum limit on Kickstarter? Like, could you just start like a Kickstarter to buy someone a video game?
I don't know. I don't know the rules of Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be able to force that door with anything short of a
So
slam.
yeah, Zero did a horrible job of hiding the number 9 door this time around.
Yeah, we found it. We're almost done.
I told you already. Each one's got a digital
And I found the
lockbox.
translation,
You
the
can't
recurring
pick the
joke
lock.
about
You
5
can't-
saying she has
you
no
can't
man.
break
It's like,
down
that
the
was
door.
particularly hard to translate, because she says it at crucial moments
Why
of the
would I
game.
lie?
And I'm not going to try to pronounce the original Japanese version, but she makes a bunch of mono puns.
Not that we found anyway. Well, there
I
is
guess
one
that's a good
thing I'm
enough one.
little curious about.
Mono to man.
I was the first to escape. That means I know who was in which elevator. I watched all of you come out after all. Well, I was in the 1/3 from the right. Tenmyoji was the second out. Your elevator was second from the left, I think.
Good memory.
So is this important information?
Yeah, one of the playthrough.
Third
Yes, it
was
is.
Luna.
Oh, it is,
You
okay.
climbed out of the rightmost elevator.
Not now and not for like 20 hours, but this is important information.
Actually,
Okay.
in the next video, it's going to
You
become
came out of the
important,
elevator
so...
next to Luna's.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess it depends
doing
what path you
those
take first.
playthroughs, yeah.
And finally,
Yeah.
the two of you were trapped in.
The third elevator
Yeah, like a
from the
third of the
left.
playthroughs, it doesn't matter at all.
Yes. No one has come out of the leftmost elevator.
Well, that part's pretty important.
Are you saying there's still someone in there?
I can't say for certain, but it
And
does
if you
seem
think these
strange.
people looked weird, wait till you see the two that come out of this last elevator.
Yeah. Well, Luna is like the most normal-looking person.
That means she's probably a serial killer.
Yeah. Well, she looks like a cavewoman hooker.
Wait, did you say a cave woman hooker?
Yeah, you heard. She looks like Pebbles, kind of.
No, I was talking...
Oh, not Luna. Sorry.
Oh.
We're talking, I was still talking about the person who comes out of this elevator.
Okay. Oh, I can see that. I can totally see that.
Well, I think the reason that Luna looks normal is because we haven't focused on the weird part of her design, which is that weird bird cage necklace she wears.
One next to each
Mhm.
door.
I was thinking her hair was pretty funky looking.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I guess it's good because I mean, it gives each character kind of something unique for you to focus on, so you can remember which is which much more easily
Yeah.
than if they were all just generic looking dudes.
Yeah. I mean, when I started, I thought Luna was kind of plain and boring, but she's probably one of my favorite characters in the
Really?
game.
Well, I immediately seized upon her as my favorite character, saying she has to be the love interest.
She's the love interest? No way. The girl we were in the elevator with is clearly the love interest.
Well, no, but, you know, she didn't want to smash her thighs against Sigma's face, so clearly no love interest there.
Well, I mean, they only just met. Well, actually, or did they?
Or
For those of
they
you
just
that thought
met.
we could get to the second video without shipping, you were wrong.
Please, you guys clearly didn't watch our last series.
I know, and you were bad guessers then.
It's okay, I won't talk about... No, I'm gonna
No,
go
that's-
through
that's
Luna
what
on
people-
the first door. I'm gonna pick Luna, so... Oh great, now I spoiled the ending of this video. Oh well.
Well, of all the characters, Luna seems like she's the least likely to kill us, I would think.
What about Quark? He's like 5,
I don't trust Quark at all. He's a monster.
and there's an old man. I could take both of those guys. I'm not worried about those two.
What's that? Look, it's opening.
I guess you could both overpower and outsmart the 5-year-old, hopefully.
And we've got
Here we go. Here are the last two
something
characters.
fly.
See, the hooker Cavewoman reference is making a lot more sense now.
Mhm. And then we've also got a robot and a Snuggie. These are the last two people.
I think it's Paul Snuggie, actually. The exact
I wonder where it went.
That's what the robot got for Christmas when he was kidnapped.
Yeah, he got all the way to opening his Christmas present and then, you know, got kidnapped.
Oh, I don't know. That looks more like a robe than a Snuggie. I don't know why a robot would have a robe anyway.
Well, robot? Come on.
Oh, there we go. Now it all makes sense.
The robot's definitely somebody.
Yeah.
No, the mystery man in the robot suit. There's no way that's going to come back to be important.
There's no way they're gonna unmask and it's just some guy.
Oh, it's Charles.
I was gonna say, it's Old Man Johnson, except we have Old Man Tenmyoji, so... Seriously, could they have not picked a, less suspicious-looking, you know, full bodysuit?
Everyone's really jumping on this guy. I found that strange when I was playing it because I didn't think he looked that suspicious.
What are you talking about?
Oh, he's just a friendly robot.
It's a robot in a Snuggie. All these other things are people.
He appears to have some sort of bedazzled leather outfit also under the Snuggie.
He does, yes.
Yeah, that's like an S&M uniform. What's
Yeah,
he doing?
okay, so he's just different, that's all.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
he's
look at
also got it,
the other people in this room.
Also, he has amnesia.
and he was holding an unconscious girl. It's like, oh, hey,
Really?
this girl was unconscious when I found her. Yeah.
He's clearly her robot knight. I mean, come on.
I think I would prefer it if he had a suit of armor, you know.
I think he kind of talks like Bane from the Batman movie.
I never saw that movie. Which one was that?
That's the newest one, The Dark Knight Rises.
Okay, because they made a reference to it in like some South Park episode, and it was supposedly hilarious. But it's like, well, I never saw that movie. Guess what? That episode can be skipped now because none of the jokes make sense.
Where are we?
Which I think is a problem with a lot of TV shows, I guess. It's like, oh, if you haven't seen that movie, you can't enjoy this episode of the TV show or any of the jokes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, maybe your jokes aren't that good.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of games or TV shows or anything where half their jokes are just pop culture references.
Yes. I just played that one game, Barely Floating.
No, that can't.
I was just gonna say, should we do some Let's Play of the summer batch next?
Oh my gosh, please no.
So you really liked the karaoke scene in that game?
That was the like the best part. That was the only clever puzzle.
Oh, I couldn't for the life of me figure it out. Like I looked up what the logic was, and I still couldn't understand. Oh well. I think you and I, Nikola, just have the opposite tastes. Like the exact
if I
opposite.
ever find a game I hate, I'll let you know so you can play it and love it.
Likewise.
For anything of my life.
I find it odd that they just pass over the fact that Clover knows what the Nonary game is.
Mm-hmm. I also find it weird that they think they can ask a person with amnesia when they developed amnesia. Hey, person who doesn't remember anything, when did you stop remembering stuff?
What's the most recent thing you can remember, I guess?
You asking me that question.
Yeah, generalized amnesia as opposed to, oh gosh, I just read a story where it was mentioned. Localized amnesia, that's the other one. So localized amnesia is where you just forget a specific incident, rather than just forgetting a lot of things.
But in very rare instances, it has been shown to result from severe head trauma.
You know, just listening to this dialogue, I wonder why it's such a surprise later on that Luna is the doctor.
Really bad breakup?
Mm-hmm.
Because later on when she says she's a doctor, everybody's like, whoa, what? That stupid-looking girl is a doctor? Which I think is kind of an insult to her. Oh well. I said I wasn't going to talk too much about Luna. Okay, I'll stop talking about shipping, yes.
That's if people watch our videos, that's basically what they come here for.
Tell me you're actually buying this.
I think they're upset that we haven't talked about ponies more, though.
Oh, Paul.
All right, I'm doing.
leaving.
I'm
I'm
checking
going. Bye.
Shruby's site. Hang on.
Oh. You're just like, no, I'm not going to make a pony reference, but I mean, the question is, do the ponies have doctors or veterinarians? That was the question. I think the consensus...
Oh, she's been updating pretty recently.
Hmm.
As of yesterday.
Yeah, is it a restraining order against one Paul Franzen?
Did she ever respond to anyone's friend's request?
No, not mine.
Oh.
Yes, right now I can check. Actually, I don't think I can. Just like I said, I moved, so I haven't set my DS up on the internet here. Which is good, because I think it's creepy that my 3DS will connect to internet while I'm sleeping. I'm just afraid that, you know, the evil monsters will come out of my 3DS or something.
Yeah, it's a totally normal fear.
It seems like that would be a horror movie. All the 3DS turn evil, or all the phones turn evil or something.
Oh, there's no way that hasn't happened already. I mean, a story, not in real life.
I was like, all right, Paul's crazy. There's no way all of our phones aren't evil, guys. Come on.
Well, I mean, my headphones have been talking to me for a good 40 minutes now. There is no Zero Escape Ponies on her site yet.
Tragic.
So here's my question, you know, Sigma is saying they took my favorite watch. How many people have a favorite watch?
Yeah, how rich is he that he's got like an assortment of watches that he just picks from?
Those are going to be the slowest scenes in the game, where Sigma's just thinking to himself. The text just goes slowly.
Mm-hmm.
There's a box here.
He's a slow thinker.
Maybe it's some sort of locking thing.
Yeah.
Like the ones next to the elevators.
Wait, the box the box which says lock could be a locking thing?
What do you think that is?
Well, that's the thing with video game characters, though. Have we talked about this before?
I think we did the last one where like the main character has to be kind of
yeah.
oblivious to play, so like otherwise you're gonna jump ahead of the reader where they won't know what's going on.
The video game character necessarily has to be like a few steps behind the player.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the player would get lost pretty easily.
I don't know, I'm still going to hold out on the Professor Layton games as a contrary example, where he's supposed to be a few steps ahead of everybody else. But I guess they balance it by giving him a little kid sidekick who he has to explain things to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, then the sidekick's playing the same role then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they try worked it down to Tella.
Okay, so
Seriously?
we can't excuse him for not knowing what an anagram, though, is, right?
No.
Everyone should know that.
I'm gonna say anyone who's old enough to play this game's got to be rated M, right?
Exactly.
Anyone
Watch.
who's old enough to play this game should probably know what that is.
Uh-huh.
You read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. You know what anagrams are. How did you have
And
to...
Fi's apparently a genius who's like an expert anagrammist.
Just doesn't know what it is. He has an app for it on his phone.
Well, I'm gonna ask, what was that joke she said? They tried out a lot of names before they worked it down to Telly. It's like, what?
Oh, well, Telegram's also a thing, so I guess her joke was...
That's
Because
it.
he asked if it was an anagram, like 2 words, like Graham's first name was Anna.
Hmm. Yeah, see, I was thinking Greek, because I took Greek in college, so...
Zero is
Oh.
one of us.
That's a word you see sometimes. It means end. Telly.
Interesting.
Like
Fi is the only person who occurred to that Zero could be one of them.
I know.
Everyone's
Clover,
like, what?
Clover's been in this game before, and Zero was one of the people. Like, how's that a surprise to her?
I think she's just trying to fit in with everybody else.
You can't see.
She has been keeping suspiciously quiet so far.
Uh-huh.
Suspiciously quiet about her knowledge of the Nonary game.
Yeah. Because that knowledge is pretty valuable, I would think.
Well, that's what she did in the
well-
previous game, too. So this is actually her 3rd game, Nonary game.
Wow.
So you're suspicious of Clover for not disclosing all she knows about the Nonary game within like the first 5 minutes, but you're not suspicious of the masked robot man with amnesia, Paul?
He looks like a nice guy. What do you...
Of course I don't.
He's a nice guy, but the Cavewoman hooker is just... No.
I could totally believe that, like, she fainted or OD'd or something in the elevator. That's not...
On what?
I don't know. Whatever she's on to be wearing that outfit in public.
She ate the poster in there. I couldn't stop her. That's what took me so long.
I was just gonna say that skimpy outfit is the reason why she's best friends with Alice.
I think she looks... Have you ever seen like the Flintstones episodes with grown-up Pebbles? That's like exactly what grown-up Pebbles wears.
You're not just like a video somebody made. Wouldn't that mean that Zero would have to be controlling you and sending you answers right now? Because it doesn't look like anyone's doing that.
Ooh, I have a question about that, but it'd be like super spoilery, so no.
I'm an artificial intelligence powered by a quantum.
No super spoilers, only mild spoilers.
Okay. Well, I just did a Google image search for adult Pebbles, and it's mostly just cosplayers.
I was gonna say, maybe you shouldn't
Yeah,
Google
don't do that.
Don't Google that. Make sure safe search is on, whatever you do.
No, Safe Search is definitely on, and Fruity Pebbles are delicious. Oh my gosh.
I think the fun thing about this playthrough is now we can ask Paul what he thinks at random points, because he won't actually know what's going to happen.
Yeah, here it is.
So, Paul, right now, who's your suspicion for Zero? Who do you think Zero?
It's absolutely Clover.
You think it's Clover? All right. So we have an early vote for Clover.
Who did you guys think it was when you were at this point in the game originally?
The masked robot man with amnesia?
Yeah, kind of the mass robot man
He's
amnesia.
the
It's sort of...
least suspicious, just because he's the most suspicious. Like, they're clearly setting him up as a red herring.
Yeah,
So you're going with the person who you least suspect.
I would say it's either Clover or what's her face, boring doctor girl.
oh, Luma.
Luna.
She looks like a serial killer to me.
I'm...
But she looks like a serial killer that you're not supposed to suspect is a serial killer. Kind of it's always the quiet ones sort of scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, this is why I don't like the Masked Man. He does too many of those things. I'm going to give a lecture on what the prefix Nona means and talk about that for 3 sentences.
Uh-huh. Oh, you're boring me.
So that's why I figured he can't be Zero. He just slows things down.
Well, don't they just have to have a square root of 9 or whatever? It's easy.
No, you need to have 9 points, and everybody's starting with 3 points this time.
Mm-hmm. So he didn't make a mistake. The rules just changed. So I guess everyone does have 2 names in this game, because Zero the Third gives them all insulting nicknames.
That's true. Again, another thing that would be a fun translation issue, because I assume that the localizers would just have the opportunity to just make them up themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure the straight translation wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Each of the nicknames is like a pun on the original name, so.
I think some of the nicknames, I don't know. I know with 999, like, Seven's name was the same in Japanese and in English. And I think it's the same for Sigma and Phi. No, it is the same for Sigma and Phi, actually. Their names are Sigma and Phi in Japanese.
Well, would Zero the Third still call her Fido? Because I feel like, I'm not sure, is Fido a common dog name in Japan too?
You know, I have no idea. I just know that I played the game once with the Japanese audio on, and they used the name Sigma. That's what she called him. She did it with a Japanese accent, obviously. It's like, hey, that's clearly supposed to be Sigma.
Rabbit puns, Paul. Rabbit puns.
Yeah, that will help you ignore the fact that they have the word and the D was on a different line from the AN.
Anybody.
What the hell does that mean?
Why is he wearing such a silly hat? Is that
Who, Dio or Zero the Third?
Oh, yeah, which one?
I'm wondering if Zero the Third's hat is underneath Dio's hat.
I mean, Zero the Third himself could be under that hat.
That's the plot twist, Paul. You guessed it.
Oh, I knew it. Button your shirt up.
How do you? He's going casual. He's got a sleeve up and everything, man.
Have you no decency, man?
They're just not enforcing enough of dress code in these games.
This is not Casual Friday. What are they doing?
I think he's just trying to make the women feel comfortable, because none of them have clothing.
Yeah, he got out of the elevator. He's like, oh, it's that kind of party. Started unbuttoning his shirt.
That is what you would think, too.
And then he saw his grandson. He's like, whoa, okay, but...
All right, just one button for now.
How do we get in there? We tried the doors.
Yeah, Dio's showing some skin too, though. Yeah.
That's a low V.
Okay, I need to see another picture of him to figure out how his vest is working. It looks like there's a gold chain connecting the 2 vest pieces. Because I don't think they work like that. I've worn vests before.
Is Clover, like, actually a hooker?
No.
She kind of looks... I mean,
No.
She looks like one.
You'll find out what she is, and it's definitely not a hooker.
Okay. For sure.
I'm like, unless she's lying about what she does because she's embarrassed.
I think she's lying about what she does. I don't think she's a Cavewoman hooker. I think maybe she... I think it just works out like...
Traveling through
Well,
time.
yeah, I was gonna say, they do have certain time travel elements in the series already, so...
I think this works as a waitress in one of those, she works at like a restaurant, a caveman-themed restaurant. I know they have one in Idaho.
Really? What sort of niche does that appeal to?
In Boise, Idaho, that was the one restaurant we went to while we were there in 2007, 2008. We went to the caveman restaurant.
I was wondering how you happen to have that knowledge. Very specific trivia to know.
2004, yeah.
I'm guessing this is the time.
Oh no, I got the dino burger. It was delicious.
Ding, 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 ding! Very impressive, Tenmioli. All right. Let us read you what
Let us.
we learned. In 9 minutes, the chromatic doors
So that's something which bothered me about the Flintstones. Their pet dinosaur is named Dino, right? Not Dino?
They won't stay open forever. You have 5 minutes. Once
Nothing?
your time is
Okay,
up,
never mind.
Sorry.
No, I mean, it's true. I just it didn't like as a kid it didn't bother me. I was fine with it.
Okay, fine.
What? Each door in this warren
It does show a remarkable lack of creativity on their part, the Flintstones characters, for naming their pet that.
What are you talking about? My dog's name is Dog.
I have a dog. It's named Doog.
Fortunately, the secondary chromatic door on the other side is locked too.
This is so confusing with the secondary chromatic doors. Did they seriously have to have this?
Split up.
Mhm.
Oh, that weird color chart thing.
No, we haven't gotten to that yet.
Okay. I got very confused by that. I think, Michael, you mentioned that too, that the primary colors were different from what we were told the primary colors were in elementary school.
Primary colors,
That was me. I tweeted that.
Oh,
yeah.
that was you. I knew it was one of you. Okay.
they are red,
Well-
yellow, and blue.
Now,
Yeah.
Mhm.
answer my questions.
But I looked it up on Wikipedia because it blew my mind. And apparently, there are multiple sets of primary colors.
What?
Like, as long as you can make any colors from the colors you're using, then it totally counts.
That is not at all what I was told.
And, yeah, my first grade mind was blown.
Next, you're gonna tell me that the Pilgrims and Native Americans were not besties.
They had dinner together,
Blue.
braided each other's hair.
And then all the Native Americans just disappeared one day. No one knows why.
Red. What if you wanted cyan?
Yeah, but seriously,
Blue
I
and
mean,
green.
blue and green don't make light blue. That's ridiculous. Blue and green make dark blue.
So they come in 3 vibrant colors?
Crayon theory does not work here. What's going on?
The red and blue
I remember it was a
bracelets
revelation for me when I learned that if you just mix all the colors you have, it always makes brown no matter what.
Can open the yellow one.
Well,
Well, it's supposed to make black.
Can open
Oh,
the
it always
cyan.
made brown for me.
I miss
and then
anything?
there's
Well, you're combining.
I think if you combine all the colors together, you
Well, I mean, if
white.
combine all of the colors ever, then yeah. But I just mean like combining like 3 or 4 crayons.
You're talking about what happens if you've got 2 of the same color, right?
Yep.
Again, I was basing all my knowledge on colors off of crayon theory, which is
How the hell would
that's
I
how I learned everything.
You want to open a door?
I learned with the color wheel, but
Then you
yeah,
can use that.
same sort of thing.
With the complementary
I think I learned from a cassette tape starring Cheech. It's called Cheech the School Bus Driver.
You had a very bad teacher in elementary school. You're gonna show your Cheech and Chongs up in smoke, and I'm gonna pass out on my desk.
Ridiculous, like children's car ride tape, cassette tape he made in like the 80s or 90s.
Huh.
You learned all kinds of lessons.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
One of them was about mixing up colors.
Mhm.
And then every time they tried to mix more than like 2 colors, it always came out brown.
Let's continue, shall we? There are 2 types of bracelets, pairs and solos.
Yeah, it was very strange for me to learn later on the other sorts of things that Cheech made that were not educational. Educational in a different way.
The 2 members of the family are considered to be a single entity, which means they share the same destiny. Isn't that a good deal? I mean, you get
So
to
basically,
learn
the last
these
part of this video is just explaining all the rules you need to know about the Nonary game.
Yeah,
How to get through doors, how to get through the 9 door.
and we're gonna have a long recap at the end, though. So
Hopefully
But,
everyone.
yeah, and that's basically all you need to know.
Solos don't have any restrictions like that, though.
now there's Luna.
Why would they? They're forever alone. And that
Michael's favorite.
means that they can go
Mhm.
wherever they want.
And she's forever alone, but she won't be as long as she meets up with me.
Let's take another look.
I was wondering why you spent Valentine's Day playing this game.
Fido is next. Tell us about your bracelet.
That's okay. I spent Valentine's Day
Just
playing
like
Home
Sigma's
Improvement, the
red
board
and
game.
hair. What about you?
Why?
Which is a lot less fun of a game than you would think.
I don't imagine it being any fun.
It's all about it's a kids game about improving the equity of your home.
Oh,
Like
that's They obviously didn't watch the TV show, huh?
Like, you go around the board and you have like a little job that you have to complete, like replacing a door, and you have to go to different stores and buy all the tools and equipment, and then land on like the living room spot in order to replace
It's
it.
just as awful as it is in real life. Like, why would I want to do that?
Yeah. I was
Do your taxes, the board game.
I was gonna say board game, more like boring game.
Oh.
Oh!
Was, yeah.
Okay,
That was
so his
Valentine.
name is K.
I saw the letter K.
His flash of insight was a letter.
I wish I knew.
It's just a flashback from Sesame Street. It doesn't have anything to do with his name.
Come on now, boys. You can fight later. Now, Kay,
Game has some very
can I
mature
call you that?
language.
Yes.
I'm
They're
guessing
swearing
your
more than they were in the first one.
bracelet is the same as Clover's.
People are wearing low-cut shirts. This
Oh,
is
this
not
is
a Paul
terrible.
game. This is not a Paul game.
It's more like appalling.
Oh!
Stop setting me up for these guys!
Michael can't help himself.
Michael is actually the writer of this game.
The Michael edition. I just try to kill you with puns until you die.
That's all this actually was. The Zero the Third wanted to try his stand-up routine. That's why he got all these people together.
Yeah, he's one of the milkmen who is going comedy.
Or you could work with Mr. Dio and me. We're blue
Yeah, no,
too.
red and blue make purple, not light purple.
Yeah.
Oh, celery sticks. I forgot to tell you. You have to have exactly 3 people in your group to open the secondary door. That means you can't have 2 people, or 4 people, or, well, anything other
That's
than
what 3 people means.
What about 5 people, Zero? Good thing Seven's not here. They would have been there all day. What about 6?
J-Dog, of course, being Junpei from the last
Actually,
game.
someone in the last video
Yeah.
that we did this actually said it's Junpei.
Junpei, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So his name rhymes with June? Kind of. June and Junpei? Yeah, that works.
It doesn't rhyme, but yeah, I guess it contains June.
Yeah, but I don't know what rhyming is because I failed first grade, colors. I was busy working on that, and, I was not able to work on first grade rhyming.
There we go. This is classic Zero Escape.
Hmm. So basically, the entire 30 minutes was a waste. You didn't need to watch that. Just this.
Yeah, and the secret files, I think, these are added to the secret files, which are the worst secret files ever, by the way.
Hmm.
Alright, so in order to escape, you need to get 9 points on your bracelet. Everyone starts with 3.
Yes.
Mhm.
And how do you get points, Ball?
Kill 2 other people and
Well, he doesn't know.
points.
At the end of a puzzle sequence, you and the other person or people in your group go into a little box and push buttons. And if you push the right button, you get lots of points. And if you do it wrong, you lose points.
Close enough.
Yeah, they haven't explained it yet.
Yep, that's...
And how many people can go through a door, Paul?
3.
What about 4?
No, it's only 3. I got that one.
Can't they split up into groups of like 6 and 3? Because 3 and 3 is 6? Yeah, but seriously, they could have just gone with just 1 set of doors. I would have accepted that.
Wait, what did the colors have to do with anything?
They make it so
You need
you
to get
can
your-
only go with certain people. That's basically it.
Okay.
It limits your
Mhm.
options.
Oh, so your color has to combine with the other person's color to make the color of the door or whatever?
Yes.
Okay.
And pairs can only go with solos, and solos with pairs, because only 3 people through a door.
3, are you sure?
I'm not positive. It could be 4.
Oh, so you can combine, or if everyone has just that color, then you can go in the door also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, with the previous game, they tried to limit who you could go through a door with, and this is how they're doing it in this game.
Right.
Although it's a lot easier because they get to make up what the colors are.
Does
Yeah,
red and green really make yellow?
No.
Wouldn't it just make, like, brown? That's what Cheech told me. Do I have crayons handy? I want to test this. Lizzo, can you bring me crayons?
She's probably in the other room shaking her head, like, oh my gosh. She's asked me that so many times in the past couple days.
I don't know what blue and red make again.
So hard.
Okay, well,
Oh,
0
oh.
the third is going to go away, I think.
I have crayons, guys. I have crayons. Do we have time? What's our
Thank
time?
you, Lizzo.
We have 6
Alright,
minutes.
thanks, Lizzo.
Yes, thank you,
Alright.
Lizzo.
I have red and, what was it, red and green?
Yeah, red and green.
Alright, I'm trying it right now.
It's red, green, and blue. What they said were the 3 colors.
Alright, I drew red, I'm drawing green on top of red, and it just looks like red with a layer of green on it, so that didn't work. Alright, green, red, and that, no. I just made red.
I just want
Does this work?
I want to point out that Dio just called the Nonary game the lamery game. Like, that's the worst insult ever.
Try shading, maybe.
I mean, when it's nonary, I mean, yawnery is right there.
Yeah.
You know? Lame is stretching it too far.
I guess it looks kinda yellow.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if you're doing this right, Paul, if you're adding other colors to red and getting red back.
Well, it's the crayon density is causing some problems for me, I think.
He's using a red marker and a green pencil.
I can kind of see yellow there, but I'm just not sure I buy this.
I think I know what part of the game Paul actually stopped at. Like, wait, I gotta try this
doesn't
out.
make any sense.
We're getting to the
Yeah, do
part
some
where
studies.
everybody is going to die if they break the rules, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Soparil, what's that from, Paul?
The other game?
Yeah,
Oh.
good guess.
Well, I couldn't imagine what else it would have been.
The thing
That's from
fall
ER.
asleep.
They use that all.
Huh. Could have been from the Flintstones all grown up. Like, I was trying to think of what else we referenced this episode.
Pebbles got on some Soparil. It was,
It was a
Very
very
nice
special episode.
yeah.
I think that is exactly why Clover is dressed the way she is. Clover had too much Soparil, and that's why she came out unconscious.
But the robot guy had nothing to do with it.
Well, yeah, he can't inhale anything, because he's got the robot mask.
From this far back, it kind of looks like the robot guy was wearing heels.
You know, it's kind of weird to see them, you know, from the distance, because Sigma's not there.
Uh-huh.
It's like he's standing 5 feet away from everybody else, just off frame.
He's taking a nap.
Well, I guess it's supposed to be like a picture from his point of view, but still, it's like, how is he getting a good view of the 0 screen and everybody else?
Yeah, he's obviously just checking out Clover. I'm gonna stand back here.
Red and blue definitely makes purple.
Okay, well, you're wrong.
All right, guys.
Clearly not according to this game. Red and blue make, what was it, pink?
Alright, I should say, scarlet and cornflower.
What?
Colors.
What kind of...
You should say. Was there an end to that sentence? Because you're just like, I should say scarlet.
No, and cornflower.
What about them?
They were the 2 colors I was using.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
You know, Luna looks like a scarlet. Just throwing it out there. With her hair color.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant her name. Like, she looks like she should be Scarlet.
Yeah, but Scarlet would be a good name, too. After
You're just pulling the
Should I
thigh
keep
there.
watching, or can I just keep playing with my crayons?
Keep watching, we've got 2 more minutes left. Okay, so here's red and blue, they make pink. Is that what the colors look like, Paul?
Color is carnation pink. Wow. Salmon? Wow, these crayons are awesome.
You got the big box of crayons,
It's
obviously.
a 64 set. How about, wait, this one's cadet blue. Like, what? Are cadets a certain kind of blue? Okay, I'm putting them away now.
Still, I mean, red and green do not make yellow by any
No.
stretch of the imagination.
I tested it like 3 times. It did not work.
They're not using crayon theory, though. I think they're using wavelengths here.
Green is yellow and blue. Wavelengths, maybe. That doesn't explain blue and blue make yellow, but...
Yeah, wait. How did we get to that? Is it just because they're the opposite, on the opposite sides of the color wheel?
Yeah.
Or whatever that thing was?
That's not a color wheel. Color wheels are
Yeah.
different. Color wheel...
I guess color wheel would probably be more wheel-shaped.
Well, the color wheel is supposed to be the colors of the rainbow. That's how I memorized it. It goes from red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple in a clockwise fashion. And then Luna, for some reason, decides Sigma is the person who has to make the decision, and nobody's going to argue with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, the guy who was standing like 10 feet away, obviously not listening or looking at the screen, he's the one who has to make the decision.
Yeah, nobody seemed upset.
Yeah, let's trust the guy who didn't even know what the word anagram meant.
Yeah.
So this is it.
What are you gonna pick?
We have three.
Yeah, what are you gonna pick?
Have three options. Phi and Sigma get to go to Luna, Tenmyoji, or Alice. Who do you want, Paul?
Don't pick Alice.
Well, I picked save,
That's not an
That
option.
was not one of the options.
and then quit. That's one of the options too, right?
I guess that's it for Zero Escape now. Thanks everyone for watching, and check back with us, I don't know, whenever we get around to the next video.
And
Yeah, 2 years or whatever.
you'll get to see who I picked.
What a
You already
cliffhanger.
spoiled it.
Yeah, even though I already spoiled it.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
See ya.